Be still for a moment and listen to me. Release the noise you have been carrying, the pressure to prove, the urgency to become visible, the quiet anxiety that whispers you are falling behind. I am not calling you to chase what looks successful in the eyes of others. I am calling you to hear my voice and to trust that obedience to it will align everything else in its proper time. When you pursue me, you do not lose ground. You gain clarity. You gain peace. You gain direction that striving could never produce. I see how carefully you have tried to hold things together, how often you have measured your worth by progress, recognition, or outcomes. But I have never measured you that way. I have always been more interested in your heart than your reach, your faithfulness than your exposure, your willingness than your perfection. Your influence is not delayed, it is being shaped. Your life is not overlooked, it is being prepared. There are layers within you that cannot be rushed, depths that must be strengthened before they are revealed. I am drawing you inward so that when you move outward, you will not fracture under the weight of what I place in your hands. Listen closely now, because what I am speaking to you is not meant to impress you, but to anchor you. You do not need to become louder to be effective. You do not need to be everywhere to matter. My presence resting on you will speak before you ever open your mouth. I am teaching you to walk in quiet authority, rooted peace, and steady trust. This is not a season of performance. It is a season of alignment. I am inviting you to let go of the version of yourself that learned to survive by effort alone and to step into a deeper way of living, guided, sustained, and directed by me. Stay with me here. What unfolds next will require your attention, your honesty, and your yes. I want to speak to you about healing, because this work is not finished and it cannot be rushed. Much has already been restored, and you know it, even if you do not always acknowledge it. You have felt the difference in how you breathe, how you respond, how you no longer crumble where you once collapsed. But there are still places within you that remain guarded, not because you are disobedient, but because you learned to protect yourself when pain came without warning. I do not condemn those walls. I understand why they were built. But hear me clearly now. I will never force my way into those spaces. I am gentle. I am patient. I knock, and I wait. When you open, even slightly, I heal completely. You do not need to fear what lies beneath the surface, the memories you avoid, the emotions you learned to silence, the questions you never allowed yourself to ask. I already see it all, and my love has never wavered, not for a single moment. The shame you have carried does not belong to you anymore. Set it down. The guilt that speaks in quiet moments has already been answered by my mercy. The fear of repeating old patterns has lost its authority over you. The cycle has been broken, even if your mind has not fully caught up to that truth yet. You are not fragile to me. You are not disappointing. You are healing, and healing is holy work. You are not defined by what happened to you, no matter how deeply it marked you. You are defined by what I have done for you, and I am not finished yet. I did far more than cover your failures. I dismantled their authority. What once held power over your decisions, your confidence, your identity, no longer has the right to speak. Your grip has been broken. Your voice, which was silenced by fear and self-doubt, is being restored. You are not standing under judgment. You are standing in freedom, even if you are still learning how to walk in it. You are forgiven at the deepest level, the places you thought were beyond repair, the parts of you you assumed would always remain compromised. I have purified you, restored you, and made you whole. What once threatened to define you has been transformed into evidence of my mercy. Your story is no longer a cage meant to keep you trapped in regret. It is a living testimony meant to unlock hope in others. Stop bearing it as a burden. Stop minimizing it. Stop reshaping it to make it feel safer, cleaner, or more acceptable. I intend to use it exactly as it is, honest, unfiltered, and alive. Not because I glorify the pain you endured, but because the world needs to see what redemption truly looks like when it reaches real lives. Your scars are not marks of failure. They are proof that healing exists. that transformation is possible, that I intervene in real lives in real ways. When you allow others to see them, not with performance, but with humility and truth, the lies imprisoning their hearts begin to crumble. People who believed they were alone will recognize themselves in your journey. Those who thought their mistakes disqualified them will begin to hope again. The chains they have carried quietly, chains of shame, secrecy, and self-blame, will begin to fall simply because you were willing to stand honestly before them. This is why the enemy tried so hard to convince you to stay silent. This is why you felt pressure to hide, to smooth over the rough edges of your testimony. But I am telling you now, your vulnerability is not a liability. It is a doorway. It does not weaken your authority. It strengthens it. I am not asking you to relive the pain. I am asking you to let redemption speak louder than it ever did. As you do, you will discover that your healing accelerates even further, because healing was never meant to end with you. It multiplies when it is shared. The season ahead will ask you to loosen your grip on familiar patterns, even ones that once helped you survive. Old ways of thinking will be released. Control will be surrendered. Fear will lose its influence, not because you force it out, but because trust grows stronger. You will be invited to move forward without having every detail explained in advance. You do not need full clarity to obey. You only need me. I will guide you when the path feels uncertain. I will supply what you lack when you feel insufficient. I will be your refuge when pressure rises, your stability when storms surround you, your light when visibility fades. Stay close to me and you will not lose your way. There will be moments when this journey feels heavy, and I want you to remember this clearly. Heaviness does not mean failure. It means weight is shifting. You are never walking alone. I move ahead of you, preparing what you cannot yet see. I remain behind you, guarding what you have come through. I walk beside you, steady and constant, and I live within you, strengthening you from the inside out. Nothing I have initiated in you will be cut short. There is more ahead, more depth, more fruit, more purpose, and it will unfold step by step. Your role is simple, though not always easy. Keep responding with yes. Keep trusting when answers are delayed. Keep believing that what I am healing now is preparing you for what comes next. I am calling you into rest now, and you must understand what I mean when I say that. This is not disengagement, not withdrawal, not passivity, and not surrendering responsibility. This is trust taking its rightful place where anxiety once ruled. You have been strong for a long time, stronger than most ever knew, carrying weight that was never meant to rest entirely on your shoulders. You learned how to endure, how to function while tired, how to keep moving even when your soul was worn thin. You learned how to survive pressure quietly, to resist opposition without language for it, to keep standing even when you did not feel supported. I saw every moment. I saw the unseen battles, the subtle resistance designed to drain your resolve and dull your passion. You were not imagining it. There was resistance, persistent and strategic. Yet you endured. You endured not because you were limitless, but because I was sustaining you. Even when you felt weak, even when you felt unsure, even when you questioned whether you could continue, I was holding you together. Now I am inviting you into a different posture, one that does not rely on effort as its foundation, but on trust, resting in my promises, resting in my truth, resting in the certainty that I am working even when evidence appears absent. This kind of rest does not halt movement. It removes anxiety from it. You will still move forward, but without panic. You will decide without striving. You will act without the constant fear of misstepping. When you walk in this rest, you become steady in a way you have not experienced before. You are no longer driven by urgency, but guided by rhythm, and my rhythm brings life, not depletion. It brings breakthrough, not burnout. You do not need full understanding to take the next step. I am not demanding perfect clarity. I am asking for wholehearted trust. The step before you may feel risky, even unreasonable to your logic, but if you could see what waits beyond it, Hesitation would disappear. Hear me again. I have never failed you, not once. Even in silence, I was speaking. Even when you felt abandoned, I was closer than ever. Silence was never absence. Delay was never denial. I was strengthening roots that would later support fruit. Let me quiet the fears that still linger beneath the surface. The fear of failing again. The fear of disappointment. The fear of losing what you fought so hard to keep. You are safe with me. My love does not fracture when you stumble. It does not retreat when you question. I knew your weaknesses before I called you, and I chose you anyway. My decision was never rooted in your performance. It was anchored in my purpose, and that purpose is unfolding now. I am also restoring how you see yourself. You have been far too severe, measuring your worth through past errors and borrowed judgments. You have rehearsed old narratives longer than you should have, allowing them to shape your expectations and limit your courage. I am washing those lenses clean. I am teaching you to see yourself as I see you, renewed, worthy, empowered. Not because of what you have achieved, but because of what I have accomplished within you. You are made new. The former things no longer define you, and you do not need to keep revisiting them for proof. With this renewal comes authority, and you will notice it quietly at first, in how you pray with confidence instead of desperation, in how you speak without shrinking, in how you carry yourself without apology. You will stop asking for permission to occupy the space I assigned to you. You will no longer retreat when the atmosphere shifts or when opposition arises. You will stand with a quiet confidence, not arrogance, but awareness. You belong here. You are not pretending. You were appointed. I will confirm this truth again and again until every false narrative loses its hold on you. I am sharpening your discernment as well. You will begin to recognize the difference between voices that sound impressive and lives that carry substance, between relationships that look healthy and those that actually produce fruit. This awareness is not meant to harden you. It is meant to mature you. You do not need universal approval. You need clear direction, and I am giving it to you step by step. As you follow my lead, I will position the right people around you at the right moments. Some connections will change. Some environments will no longer fit. A few may step away without explanation. Do not interpret this as failure or rejection. Obedience often feels isolating before it becomes expansive. Trust me in the spaces that feel empty. I will fill them. Nothing surrendered to me is ever lost. I am arranging connections you did not know how to ask for, relationships formed by purpose, not coincidence. I am bringing people into your life who will recognize what I have placed within you and who will walk beside you with integrity, loyalty, and shared vision. These will not be shallow associations or temporary alignments. They will be covenant connections, friendships and partnerships rooted in trust, sharpened by truth, and strengthened by mutual obedience. You are not meant to journey forward alone, and you will not. Now let me speak to you about your future, because it has weighed heavily on your thoughts. You have wondered what lies ahead. You have tried to prepare for outcomes you cannot yet see. Uncertainty has tugged at your peace and tempted you to overthink, to plan excessively, to brace yourself for disappointment. Hear this clearly. Your future is not unclear to me. There is no confusion in my sight. Every season, every turning point, every open door has already been accounted for. I am not improvising your life. I am the architect, the author, and the finisher, and what I design lacks nothing. There are moments ahead when momentum will increase unexpectedly. Things will begin to unfold with a speed that surprises you. This acceleration will not overwhelm you, because I will regulate the pace of your growth with wisdom and grace. You will not be required to run ahead of your capacity. I will strengthen you as I advance you. You will notice something new emerging within you. You will no longer feel the need to pursue validation, platforms, or approval. What is meant for you will locate you. Doors you did not knock on will open. Invitations you did not campaign for will arrive. When you look back on how it all came together, you will know it could not have been manufactured by human effort. It will carry my signature, Remain rooted in me. Let conversation with me become your foundation, not only in crisis, but in consistency. Let gratitude train your perspective. Let worship shape the environment of your life. These are not rituals. They are safeguards. They keep your heart steady when blessings increase, and your feet grounded when influence grows. As you stay connected to me, your life will produce lasting fruit, fruit that nourishes others and endures beyond seasons. You are moving forward now, not in haste, not in fear, but in trust. Stay here with me. This rest is where your strength is being renewed. I am redefining you from the inside out, and this work is deeper than behavior or appearance. For a long time, you have known yourself through old memories, other people's voices, and internal doubts that were never meant to lead you. You learned to interpret who you were through what you survived, what you lost, and where you fell short. But I am speaking a different truth over you now, one that is not shaped by history, wounds, or mistakes. You are not the sum of what hurt you. You are not limited by what went wrong. You are not trapped by what came before. You are defined by my word over you, chosen, loved, set apart, strengthened, and secure. This identity is not fragile. It does not need constant defense or validation. It is anchored in me, and because it is anchored in me, it is unshakable. As this identity settles within you, you will notice a shift in how you move through the world. You will no longer carry yourself with hesitation or self-protection. You will move with a steady assurance, not loud, not forced, but unmistakable. You will begin to trust what I have placed inside you instead of second-guessing it at every turn. With this inner alignment comes discernment, and discernment will become one of your greatest safeguards. I am sharpening your sensitivity so you can recognize what produces life and what merely appears good on the surface. Not everything that feels comfortable is meant to stay. Not everything that looks promising is aligned with your assignment. You are growing beyond the stage where familiarity determines your choices. You are learning to weigh things by fruit, not by comfort, approval, or habit. Certain conversations, patterns, and influences that once felt neutral will begin to feel heavy. This is not restriction. It is refinement. Do not ignore the inner prompting you feel when something no longer fits. That is my spirit setting you apart, preparing you for greater responsibility. You are marked for more, and being marked carries a call to alignment, not perfection. This is not about outward performance. It is about inward agreement. When your heart stays synchronized with mine, compromise loses its appeal and clarity replaces confusion. I am also teaching you how to stand in authority without striving for control. Authority rooted in me does not dominate, manipulate, or demand recognition. It serves, steadies, and builds. You will begin to notice this authority in how you pray, with confidence rather than pleading, in how you speak, with clarity rather than hesitation, in how you lead, with humility rather than insecurity. You will no longer feel the need to shrink when the atmosphere shifts or when others carry strong opinions. You will not need to prove yourself or compete for space. You belong here. You are not an imposter. You were appointed. As you embrace this truth, I will continue to confirm it, again and again, until every false narrative loses its grip. Your confidence will no longer rise and fall with external feedback. It will be anchored in obedience and intimacy with me, and that foundation will hold. Your relationships are also entering a season of realignment, and I want you to understand this clearly so you do not misinterpret what is happening. As you follow my lead more closely, some connections will naturally shift. Some environments will no longer support who you are becoming. A few people may step away without explanation. This does not mean you are wrong. It does not mean you have failed. Obedience often feels isolating before it becomes expansive. Do not cling to what I am asking you to release. Trust me to fill every space that feels empty. Nothing surrendered to me is ever lost. I am not removing without replacing. I am not pruning without purpose. I am arranging connections you could not have orchestrated, relationships formed by alignment rather than convenience. I am bringing people into your life who will recognize what I have placed within you and who will walk beside you with integrity, loyalty, and shared vision. These will not be shallow associations or temporary alignments. They will be covenant connections, friendships and partnerships rooted in trust, strengthened by truth, and sustained by mutual obedience. You will recognize them not by competition, but by unity. They will not drain you. They will strengthen you. They will not diminish your voice. They will sharpen it. Together, you will build what could never be built alone. You are not meant to carry this next season by yourself, and you will not. I am surrounding you with the right hearts at the right time, people who will stand with you in both quiet faithfulness and visible responsibility. Allow yourself to receive them. Do not resist support out of habit. This is not weakness. This is design. I am also preparing you for increased responsibility, and with it will come clearer distinctions in your life. You will begin to sense more clearly what produces growth and what merely feels familiar, between what carries purpose and what simply maintains comfort. Not everything good is meant to remain. You cannot move forward while holding tightly to everything behind you. I will help you discern the difference, and I will give you the courage to release what no longer aligns. This is not loss. It is positioning. As your capacity increases, so must your clarity. As your influence grows, so must your integrity. I am not lifting you higher to burden you. I am lifting you to bless you. My guidance does not confine you. It unlocks freedom, authority, and purpose. You have already experienced what partial obedience produces: progress mixed with frustration, growth paired with hesitation. Now you will begin to witness the fruit of full surrender. With it will come favor that cannot be explained by logic alone. Your identity is becoming settled, no longer shaken by comparison, fear, or uncertainty. You are learning who you are in me, and that knowledge is changing how you show up everywhere you go. This identity is not meant to stop with you. It will affect every space you enter. You will bring peace into tense environments. Your words will carry weight. Your prayers will be effective, not because of status or personality, but because my presence rests within you. The hope you carry will be visible, and people will be drawn not to your image, but to the life they sense around you. You have been entrusted with influence, not to control, but to serve. You will lead without needing recognition. You will guide without force. Your authority will flow from integrity, humility, and obedience. Because you choose faithfulness over attention, I will elevate you in ways you never planned. Those who once overlooked you may eventually seek your insight. When that happens, remain grounded. Stay teachable. Stay close to me. Humility will be your protection. There will be options ahead that look appealing but carry no lasting value. I will give you discernment to recognize what is aligned and what is merely attractive. Learn to trust my restraint as much as my release. When I close a door, it is not to withhold from you, but to preserve what I am building within you. You are being prepared for more, and you are ready to carry it. I am speaking to you now about what is ahead, not to overwhelm you, but to steady you. You have sensed it already, a widening, a stretching, a quiet awareness that the space you are entering will require more of you than before. Do not mistake this for pressure meant to break you. This is expansion designed to mature you. I am enlarging your influence, not so your name becomes known, but so my values are established wherever I send you. What once felt unrealistic or unreachable is now within your grasp, not because you suddenly became capable, but because I have been shaping you over time. You were not created merely to endure life. You were created to shape environments, to bring clarity where there is confusion, to establish truth where there is compromise. I am increasing your capacity, and with that increase comes focus. You will notice distractions losing their pull. You will sense a narrowing of priorities. This is not loss. It is alignment. I am teaching you to invest your strength where it produces lasting fruit. As you move forward, you will encounter choices that look appealing but do not carry purpose. Learn to trust my restraint as deeply as you trust my blessing. When I close a door, it is not punishment. It is protection. Some opportunities will look good on the surface, but they will pull you out of rhythm with me. Others will feel quieter, even costly at first, but they will carry my peace. Choose peace. Choose alignment. Choose obedience over momentum. I am not asking you to run ahead of me. I am asking you to walk with me. There will be moments when resistance rises as you step into new territory. Do not be unsettled by it. Resistance often signals progress. You are not defenseless. You are equipped. You are supported. I have given you authority to stand firm, to speak truth, and to remain steady when pressure increases. You will not fight alone. I am positioning others alongside you, people of courage, clarity, and shared purpose. You will recognize them not by competition, but by unity. Together you will build what could never be built in isolation. You will discover the strength of collaboration rooted in trust and obedience. These alliances will not be driven by ambition or image. They will be formed by calling. You will sharpen one another, carry one another, and hold one another accountable to truth. Through this, I will establish work that endures beyond seasons and recognition. As your influence grows, remain attentive to your inner life. Stay responsive to my voice. Do not allow familiarity to dull your sensitivity. Continue to choose closeness over comfort. Influence without intimacy becomes hollow, but influence anchored in relationship produces life. Let humility remain your covering. Let gratitude remain your posture. Let obedience remain your compass. These will preserve you when expansion accelerates.